Hey folks, this SNC-Lavalin scandal, yeah, like I said, not only is it not over yet, but it's showing, it's breaking wide open all these mystical concepts that people had, the belief they had in government. And it's all about ethics and morality, and they're somehow our moral authority or leaders. Bull fucking shit. And if you still believe that nonsense after all this stuff come out, I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona I want to sell you. I mean, not only has it destroyed all the credibility Trudeau had tried to build up to, ooh, he's a feminist and cares all about First Nation people. No, he showed very quickly that, oh, you challenge my authority? That might not be the exact words he used, but that is definitely what he was thinking in his mind. I'm the leader here. You get in line, you get on board, or you get the fuck out. That's the thing. People think that the authoritarians of the past were all like just brutes. No, look at even fucking Hitler. Like the guy, have you ever seen the guy's physical stature? I always laugh when people say, oh, he's a right winger, like a strongman right winger. You ever see the guy's shoulders are about this fucking wide apart. He actually looks very effeminate. I mean, other than his little teeny little mustache, this is a guy that most people, if you knew him in school, you'd be like, this guy's a fucking loser. He might be one of those incels or whatever, one of these far leftists or these Antifa dipshits, right? He's one of those people with a little man syndrome that needs some power. And look, Trudeau, same thing. The only difference is he's got shinier hair and a little bit more style. That's about it. But like I say, the most authoritarian dipshits among you, well, the right-wingers, well, you'll see them coming at you. They'll be in full military gear and garb, locked and loaded, right? But the leftists, the true authoritarians, the even more vile authoritarians, well, they'll come at you with a nice smile, pretend they love you, give you a big hug, so that you'll become compliant and complacent. That way they don't have to work as hard. That way they don't really have to confront you head on. They can shank you in the back because you trust them. Those are the true snakes in the grass and the ones that you really got to watch out for. Anyways, as you know, the news story of the day now is Jody Wilson is a terrible person for recording the conversation between her and Wernick. Now she's to blame for all this all unfolded. Meanwhile, she just wanted to have some evidence to prove what was going down, which she did, which the proof is all out there. You can deny it as much as you want. But now the excuse is, how dare you record that conversation? How dare you put on record and expose the violent, corrupt ways that represents the federal liberals, the Trudeau liberals? How dare you challenge my authority? Anyways, CBC, as you've seen, they put out lots of articles now basically trying to lay political cover and suggest that Trudeau's now on the right and Raybould is in the wrong. And how dare that woman stand on principle and not align with her party leader? Headline out of CBC News Politics: Wilson Raybould may not have broken the law, but her Wernick Tate crossed ethical lines, lawyers say. Lawyers, first of all, and I know some of you here that watch my videos might be lawyers, but, you know, I got no fucking respect for people that are professional liars, and you know that's what you are. You'll lie through your fucking teeth every day that you're gainfully employed to get a paycheck. So sorry if I have no real respect for lawyers. Yes, there might be some exceptions to the rule, but you're still functioning in a corrupt state, in a corrupt system. So even for the few ones that might be ethical, well, that won't last long. Well, if you don't succumb to being as corrupt as your counterparts, well, you won't be very successful, and you'll probably have to seek out a career or a different position somewhere. PM expelled Wilson Raybould on Tuesday evening, saying trust has been broken. Right? Never go against the Godfather, right? It's being reported by Jamie Strachan, April 3rd, 2019. Lawyers say Jody Wilson Raybould may not have broken the law, but her decision to tape a conversation with the Privy Council clerk may have crossed ethical lines. Wilson Raybould has done a number of things in the past few weeks to upset her Liberal MP colleagues, but the 17-minute call she recorded with outgoing Privy Council clerk Michael Wernick ultimately spelled the end of her time in the Liberal Party. Like I say, exposing the corruption, that was your biggest mistake, Jody. That's what they're saying. That's the message that the federal Liberals are sending you, and not just you, and not just Philpott, but the rest of Canada as well. So if you're a supporter of the Liberal Party at this point in time, when I see those numbers come October of how many people, that's going to tell me a representation of just how many Canadians are unethical and immoral themselves. On Tuesday evening, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau expelled Wilson Raybould and Jane Philpott from the Liberal caucus, saying that trust with the two former cabinet ministers was broken. If a politician secretly records a conversation with anyone, it's wrong, Trudeau said in a news conference. When a cabinet minister is secretly recording a public servant, it's wrong. And when the cabinet minister is the Attorney General of Canada secretly recording the clerk of the Privy Council, it's unconscionable. Hey, gotta support the team, right? Forget about ethics, forget about morality. It's all about the team. It's all about the party. It's all about the gang. It's all about the group. It's all about the collective. Get on board, join the collective, or hey, you'll be sacrificed at the altar for failing to conform. And Jody and Jane, you might want to turn towards libertarianism. You might want to turn and pivot towards people that will actually respect you for your sovereignty, for your individual rights to be free from forced subjugation and coercion. You have the right to stand up in defense of the rule of law in this country. But you're not going to get that from any of the established parties because they've become massively corrupt at this point. Maybe you should start to consider, if you truly are as principled as you put forth, Jody and Jane, maybe you should start considering supporting people that align with your respect of the rule of law. That would send a very clear message to Canadians. And actually, at the end of all this, I hope Miss Raybould and Miss Philpott come to the realization of why it's so important to place individual rights and personal responsibility above and beyond collectivism, groupthink, or a mob mentality. And obviously, the most devastating aspect of this is not just the fact that Trudeau and the federal Liberals are now throwing these two ladies under the proverbial bus for not conforming to their ideology or going along with their plan to give SNC-Lavalin this get-out-of-jail-free card and avoid adhering to the rule of law. But there's also the realization that's unavoidable at this point that many hacks in the CBC are laying political cover for the federal Liberals, for Trudeau, as a means to paint these two ladies, these upstanding ladies that were supposed to be standing on principle and for the rule of law. Well, the CBC hacks are saying, hey, we're more than willing and on board to throw these ladies on the bus to carry favor for political masters. And maybe it's because he's offered them extra money, right? So once again, lots of people at the end of the day, folks, in the media and the established parties are more than willing to forego ethics and morality or the rule of law as long as they keep the money coming in, as long as they get the paycheck. That's the true reality of the world that you live in. And denial isn't going to change it. Doing the right thing going forward might. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.